And I appreciate your critique of the Declaration and its internal incoherences, but let's move on a little bit.
It is incoherent in that one sense, yes.
Yeah. Let me frame the issue a little bit differently. You said earlier about the fact that you've got creative work produced by non-believers. And Hitchens, as you know in his book, says how religion poisons everything, right? So here's my question to you. Did religion poison Shakespeare and Milton and Dante and Bach and Michelangelo and the designers of the Gothic cathedrals? In other words, would you concede that much of the literature, the history, the music, the architecture, the greatness of Western civilization is in fact the product of Christianity? Would you be willing to admit that?
To say that religion poisons everything does not mean that it negates everything. Many religious people, in spite of their religion, have risen above the brutalities and the primitiveness of this book to create beautiful works of art. Many of them were working on commission. Sometimes the only way you could eat was to write for the king or for the church. A lot of it was not religiously inspired. It was the stomach that inspired it.
So say Milton's Paradise Lost was not due to his Christianity,
some of it was,
despite
yes.
it.
Of course, and many devout believers
have
have
to pay the
created
bills.
Even I, as an atheist, can admire Islamic architecture without worshiping Allah. I mean, I can see that. We can all see that. Human beings are creative in all religions, in all cultures, and the ancient Chinese and the Native Americans, which is my family, created works of arts. And if you want to attribute it to your religion, fine, but it's a human activity.
I'm not asking you to worship Allah. I'm saying, can't you see that there is a transcendent reference point that is lifting the human spirit? You may not agree with that interpretation. I don't agree with Allah either, but I don't think in the absence of Islam we would have Islamic architecture.
Can I just respond quickly?
Yes, quickly.
I do agree that some people do erroneously think there's a transcendent cause for their creativity.
Now we're going to extend the cross-examination to the entire audience. So the first question is for both of you. By what standard or measuring stick, or upon what foundation, do you evaluate the consequences of an action to determine whether it's good or bad? What makes good good and evil evil?
Christianity is a little bit radical in this area. It departs both from Islam and Judaism in locating the nexus of morality in intention. I'm thinking here of Christ's famous injunction where he basically says, if you have contemplated the sin, you've committed it. In that sense, the Christian doctrine is tougher because it locates the offense not just in the act, but also in the premeditation of it. And by the way, you see here the way in which this Christian idea has decisively shaped Western law. I mean, if you intend to commit a murder, that's first-degree murder. If you got angry, that's a crime of passion. So the Christian principle of morality in intention has embedded itself in Western law, and even secular people today will take it for granted.